All right, Lilian, if I may start with you, I would like your impressions specifically on the cabinet picks for women on President Tinubu's administration. Critics have argued there should be more female representation in his government. What's your take on that?
Okay, yes. I think the president hasn't done well so far, although we are still hopeful that he could do more, because I think so far it has been 19% of women that has been into power. So I know that by time, with what he has said so far, that women would come in and lead. Because if you build a woman, you are building a generation. So if President, our humble president, could please add more value into women, because we need to be out there. We need to show the world that we are capable. Because if you notice that in the society, if a woman is not involved, the whole society won't grow, because women are the foundation of a home, foundation of a child. So if a woman is empowered, if a woman is out there, I believe the whole nation, everything that we are crying about right now would be placed properly. So I plead and I hope our president could empower us more and make sure we are out there. We are in leadership, because women in leadership is going to make Nigeria great. So let's take for instance Rwanda. According to statistics, Rwanda has about 61.3% women in their parliament. So if we could implement such into our own system of government in Nigeria, I believe a lot of women would be out there showing what they have, because women have more to give. Women, they have a lot of value to add. Women have so much, but because of I don't know if it's cultural belief or what it is, we are being restricted. We are being restricted from moving into that line. So I believe if the president could empower us more, for us to give more value, the nation would be glad they did so. Thank you.
All right, Secex, permit me to come in here at this point in time, because when discussions like this are being put on the table, usually people ask questions, and the question always stems from the fact that should people or those in government just give positions to women for the sake of inclusivity, for the sake of affirmation action, as against these people earning their seat on the table? And that's the big question, because should they get what they are asking for based on the fact that they are fighting for equity and equality?
Well, I don't think really that should be the consideration, because look at it holistically. Women brings a lot to the table. We are talking about women who are leading in cultural transformation in our world. They are leading in the media. They are leading in the banking sector right now. They are also leading in government organizations and just beyond the national institutions.
Here's my question.
That we have.
No, here's my question, Secex. Those women that we've mentioned that have been a beacon of light, did they get that because they had to be considered, or they actually earned that based on merits?
They are actually on merit. Look at the Okonjo Iweala, for instance. I don't know how many men can actually match her. So that's what I'm saying. These women are leading, and they deserve a place on the table. And I think what they have on the table is very deserving, and more women are out there who are also qualified and should get such opportunities. We've seen instances where women man some key positions, both in national institutions and in the corporate world, and they're doing very well. There are them in Fortune companies leading around the globe. They are look at IMF, for instance, we have a woman there, and in most other institutions, come down here, we've also seen women do very well in our societies around us. So I think women deserve this position. Most of them, they do it. Just the same way some people will argue that women might be emotional when they're in position. That's the same way men miss up some opportunities they are given to handle. So I think we should look inward. There are a lot of people that are doing well that need to be empowered to do more.
Indeed. Lilian, now, some female public office holders are currently being investigated for corruption here in Nigeria. So how does that scenario instill confidence in the call for more women representation in leadership positions?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get that question.
Yes, some female public office holders in Nigeria currently are being investigated for corrupt practices. So in that scenario, how does that instill confidence in the call for more female representation in public office?
Okay, I think corruption, corruption basically is something that every individual has. Don't quote me wrong, because when you have an opportunity and you end up you end up messing it. You are given an office, then you mess it up. You create a negative impression for other people to lead. In as much as when they get into position, yes, you make money and you'd want to embezzle. Embezzling money, okay, but have you created a structure, a proper structure for women? Have you created a proper structure for people? No one is saying you shouldn't make some money for yourself. But what have you done? What impact have you created? What have you made? What impact have you made in the course of you being in your office? So if we consider all these things, definitely we would say, oh, women shouldn't be in power because, oh, these are the negative. But this same aspect also has to do with men, because a lot of leaders also, they embezzle money. They do so many things, but what have they put in place? What structure have they kept in place for their followers, since they are our leaders? So if we want to consider individual differences, we would not place women at the top. So because women are, when you give a woman, let's give an instance, you give a woman 1,000, she has a way of multiplying that money for you. All so right. I believe if we are able to place women at the top, women will do exploits because we are multipliers.
All right. She says we are women are multipliers. But now, coming to you, Success, looking at how things have actually played out, some would say some would say that the president has shown good faith, or probably has tried to push the ante a little bit in this 35% affirmative action, based on the number of women in his cabinets, based on the number of women that have been brought on board to try to steer the ship of Nigeria right. Looking at how things have actually played out right now, shouldn't that be a motivation to the women out there to say that we can give more than we are actually getting right now?
Yeah, so let's be very realistic here. let's go back to the last question you asked, Lilian. We're looking at, you're asking if the corruption investigation should demotivate or whether it's motivating the women and all of that. See, to be honest, even men are corrupt. They are being investigated every day. So if it has not stopped anyone from appointing more men into governance, I don't think it should affect how we see women and all of that. So women should rise beyond the stereotypes and the stories going around them and, you know, maximize the opportunities they have. Now, coming to whether the president has done well regarding the 35% affirmative, for goodness sake, Nigeria is regarded as the giant of Africa, and we should do more. You look at the countries like South Africa, Namibia, Senegal, Rwanda. I actually took a couple of women, a lot of women to Rwanda last year, and solely to understudy what they are doing right, what the women are doing right, and that have made them become very inclusive in government and participate very well. And if Rwanda, South Africa, Senegal are leading the way where we have a giant, I think we should do more. And I want to encourage the president. Honestly, if you ask me, President Tinubu should do more towards the 35 affirmative inclusion in government, you know. But I also like the fact that beyond the stereotypes that are going on in national institutions, women are actually doing well in the private sector. They are leading well, and it's something that should be applauded. And I think our government agencies, our president and governors should look more into engaging women into leadership position, because actually when you have women run things, there's these vibes that you get that helps development, that encourages growth.
Indeed, and on that note, Success Bright, President, Focus Africa International, and of course, Lilian Abuyure, Women and Girl Child Advocate. I'd like to thank you both for your time on Newsday. It's good to have you with us.